Hi there, welcome to Swedish Odds and Ends, the show where we learn a little bit about everything. Today we find ourselves at the Viking Market of Slaget om Trelleborgen in Trelleborg in Sweden, and we're just about to go inside. Won't you join me? In the city of Trelleborg on the south coast of Sweden, there is something that not many other places can boast, and that is a partially reconstructed Viking fortress right in the middle of town. The story behind it is quite interesting. There was an excavation being done in preparation for building some new houses, and during that excavation they discovered some semicircular holes or remnants in the ground. And upon further inspection, they turned out to be the remnants of the fortifications of a so-called Trelleborg from the Viking Age. The holes or remnants in the ground came from these. This is so-called trello. It's a split log that was part of the fortification when building the fort or the castle. It is believed that that is where the city of Trelleborg has its name from. Trelleborg, the castle made from trello. For a long time it was hypothesized that it could have been because slaves built it, trälar. This has, however, since been mostly debunked. It is believed that it is on account of the log fortress. So when the excavators encountered these holes and remnants in the ground, the plans for building houses were shelved, and instead the city made the decision to rebuild a quarter of the castle as part of the city. So, a large wall of dirt was constructed, and upon it were leaned split logs as part of the outer defenses. This formed a quarter of the original castle. The rest of it is marked out in streets and in cobblestones and the like, so you can see the extension of the entire castle if you walk around the surrounding neighborhoods. So Trelleborg is probably one of the few places in the world where you can stand on top of a newly constructed Viking fortress looking on modern buildings. Along with a quarter of the outer wall, there was also constructed a gatehouse with a portcullis, which was also part of the original structure. This is one of the 4 ways in and out of the original fortress. As the years went by, the castle area was added to by building a longhouse, a herb garden, a pit house, and a blacksmith shop. The excavation for the residential area was begun in 1988, and the reconstructed castle was finished, if memory serves, in 1995. Since then, it has been a part of the city's tourism profile, and it draws people every year, all year around, but especially for one weekend at the beginning of July. That is when the aforementioned Slaget om Trelleborgen Market, the Battle for Trelleborg, is held. The market attracts mostly merchants, but there are also people training in the art of combat. There are exhibitions in combat as well, which are held twice daily.
Competitive linje. Competitive line.
Vi kommer ha 2 lag som drabbas samman. Vi kommer ha speciella träffzoner som det gäller om motståndarna har träffat. Och när det händer är den som den träffat utslagen.
The Trelleborg Museum was quite early with adopting the living reenactment scene that has since grown quite significantly. There were a few years when there was nothing arranged here, but it has since picked up again and has become quite popular. It's not as big as some of the others, but it is very pleasant. It draws in people from Sweden and Denmark mostly, but also some from Germany, some from Poland and so on, but more like the regional vicinity.
Välkommen hit, titta på våra mössor. Välkommen hit, titta på våra mössor. Och om någon passar dig så fyll då våra bössor. Och om någon passar dig så fyll då våra bössor.
On the castle grounds, there's also the museum building, in which is housed a small exhibit called The Castle by the Sea. There's also a gift shop open all year round, so even when there's not a market here, you can still have access to purchase replicas of historical finds from the Viking Age, literature on the subject, and assorted other this and that. The last day of the market starts to draw to a close, the gathered Vikings start packing up their things to go home, and we conclude our visit to the market Slaget om Trelleborgen. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time!